This is Grandpa Gamer here doing another little video, and it's not about anything computer related. It's about a different type of video to explain about an issue that a lot of people have with bed bugs. Through the years, I've been watching hundreds of videos on YouTube. Hundreds to make myself a little mini expert. I don't have a license, don't claim to be a professional, but I become a mini expert by watching millions of videos without sleep sometimes for months and months and months and trying things out, and I finally learned all about bug bugs, and about 2 years ago I had bed bugs in my room. There wasn't billions of them, but there was enough. And they were crawling around on my bed, they were crawling around on my clothes. And I came across a chemical on the computer by watching all these videos, and it's a magical chemical that everybody uses now, they're professionals, and I'll show it to you. Here's a little video right here. See? Crossfire by MGK. It comes in a bottle. Okay, and what it does, it kills the babies too, and your eggs. It kills your eggs too. And when you spray it around and you leave it on the floor or on the walls, wherever you spray it, even on the bed frame or on top of your mattress, and you leave it there without mopping the chemical off your floor or the walls, just let it dry, it'll stay on there for a couple months, and any bed bugs that walk across the chemical, even if they're walking on the wall when you spray the wall, they will drop on the floor within a minute, and they will start going into a stroke and circle around like a top, and they will just die. It goes into their ecosystem, and I don't have any pictures to show you because this was 2 years ago, but I had them. And you use a 1 gallon spray container that you get off Amazon for about $15, okay? And then you take the bottle and you have a little plastic measuring cup, and you take 2 ounces of Crossfire into that cup. Then you fill up your gallon spray with half gallon of water. Then you put the chemical, the 2 ounces, into the sprayer. Then you fill the sprayer up to the top with the complete full 1 gallon. And then you take a piece of wood, or I have wood back scratchers that are real long, and I just mix it around. And you want to keep mixing it, because the chemical settles to the bottom real fast. And then when you start spraying, you keep shaking the bottle as you're spraying, because the chemical goes to the bottom real fast, and you want to make it, and you bottom of the barrel real fast, and you want to make sure that it's all mixed up. So I had it, and I sprayed this chemical, not like they do in videos where they show a fine mist. I did a heavy soak, like a fire engine hose soak. I soaked my dresser, I smoked my walls, I soaked my ceilings, I soaked inside my closet, I soaked in the cabinets, in my kitchen. That's where I emptied everything out. And as I did that, I took all my clothes and stuff like that, and all the paperwork I had, and all my toys and stuff like that, to make sure I didn't see any bed bugs in there. And they weren't in there, they were just in my clothes and on my bed, and crawling around the floor, and crawling on the walls, and under the refrigerator, and in my cabinets. So I did a heavy soak, and lo and behold, even the walls and ceiling, and I just let it dry, because you don't want to mop it up, because it stays on there for like 2 months, and they walk across it, and they get a stroke and die. So I seen all these dead bed bugs when I came back after a couple hours. They were all on the floor, dead. And I mopped them, and I vacuumed them all up. Vacuum. With the little stick vacuum, I vacuumed them all up. Inside my cabinets, I vacuumed all up. They were dead. My drawers, everywhere. And then my clothes, I had put them in a plastic trash bag. I've got about 200 shirts and pants. 50 pieces in each 100-gallon trash bag. Then I took them to the dryer and the laundromat, and approximately 50 shirts in each dryer. or 30 shirts in this dryer. And I ran the dryers with more quarters and more quarters for 3 hours. The high heat kills them. They can't stand the high heat, but only in the dryer. And then I was taking the clothes out, like the shirts, and I'd shake them, and there was the dead ones. They were all not just dead. You could just touch them, and they crumbled like sawdust. And I had sprayed my bed and everything like that, and my bed frame, and I soaked it like crazy and let it, like a fire hydrant soak, all over my floor, flooded everything, flooded my dresser. And I also have a heater on my floor that's bolted to the wall. It's about 36 inches long with vents that I never used, and they might have been hiding in there, so I sprayed that and soaked everything. And once again, made sure that all my my underwear and stuff like that, there weren't any in there, all my papers and stuff like that, all my my battery boxes, anything I had, they weren't in there, and they could have been hiding in my computers and stuff like that, but they weren't. They were just on the walls and stuff like that. And around in the cabinets and on my bed and in my clothes. And once I completed my whole deal, they were all gone. And it's been 2 years now, and they've never come back. And here's something else about that. The crossfire people are going to tell you that the chemical only lasts for about 2 months. Well, by my desk, where my big computer is, a 43-inch monitor, along the wall there were some white streaks. About 8 months later, the streaks are still there. I never mopped it up. That was crossfire. I never mopped it. I just left it there, the white streaks. And I saw a cucaracha that was walking over that. He was coming from the wall. And he walked over that white streak of all the crossfire. And that crossfire had been in there, let's say, I'm just making a guess, I don't actually remember, let's say 8 months. And all of a sudden, I was watching him, he started going slower and slower and slower. And within 1 minute, he was spinning around, and he just stopped. And I picked him up with a pair of tweezers I have, and I put him on a little plate, and he was dead, 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 dead. So the crossfire does work for cucarachas. But they won't tell you that because they want you to buy other chemicals so they can make money. It's all about the money. And the same thing with Amazon. You can't buy crossfire off Amazon. They list it, but they won't sell it to you in California. And it's not because it's illegal, it's because they don't want you to cause the pest control company to lose money by doing it yourself. Because then the pest control companies go broke. And this whole country is all about the money. So just to let you know, you can watch videos on YouTube about this too. But crossfire does work for me. And it worked like magic. And it's been 2 years now, and no more bed bugs anywhere. No more, no moss. Or no more cucarachas either. So I just thought I'd let you know that and be watching more videos. This is Grandpa Gamer signing off.